What is up, YouTube? My name is Trinity, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before, and happy Spooktober. It is my favorite time of year, and if you're a fan, I'm sure it's your favorite time of year as well. Leading up to Halloween, I like to attempt to upload a little bit more often, and this is the first year that I am trying to do a theme with my videos. This month, I'm going to be talking about paranormal investigations undertaken by Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famous ghost hunting couple that the entire Conjuring universe is based around, as well as dipping into some of their non-Conjuring universe investigations. Note that I said I'm going to do my best because I am in college and I also have a full-time job, but I always try my best to pull out a little more effort when it comes to Spooktober because obviously it's spooky season. This is literally our time to shine. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren, their early life, how they got into the profession of ghost hunting and demonology and giving lectures and that kind of stuff, and their contributions to the modern horror genre. Ed Warren was born on September 7th of 1926. Lorraine, born Lorraine Moran, was born a few months later on April 31st of 1927. Both of them were born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and both of them were members of the Roman Catholic Church. Now, Lorraine claimed to have clairvoyant abilities since she was a child, but she didn't realize until about the age of 12 that she was the only one that had them. She thought her visions were something common that everyone had. Because of her religious upbringing, her family wasn't very accepting of it, which is pretty expected. What made her realize that these apparent visions were not something that everyone had was a story that she shared about a friend of hers planting a tree in the schoolyard outside of the all-girls school she went to. And as her friend planted the tree, she looked up because she could see the tree grow right before her. And a nun came up to her and asked her why she was looking at the sky. And when she explained, the nun asked her, "Are you seeing the future right now?" And she responded, "Yes, I guess I am." Ed, on the other hand, did not have any alleged supernatural abilities, but he believed that he grew up in a haunted house. He claimed that his first paranormal experience was around the age of 5 when he saw a glowing orb kind of moving around his house, and eventually it grew and morphed into his family's former landlady who had died the previous year. The two met at the age of 16, where Ed was working at a movie theater as an usher that Lorraine was going to with some friends. They began their relationship, but not long afterwards, Ned enlisted in the Navy to fight in World War II. Only 4 months into his deployment, however, he was sent on a 30-day survivor's leave because the ship that he was on was sunk. And it was during this 30-day stretch that he was able to be home and with Lorraine that they decided to get married. They tied the knot on May 22nd, 1945, and a couple months later, January 11th of 1946, Lorraine gave birth to their daughter Judith. After the war was over, Ed and Lorraine thought that they would make livings as artists. Both of them had interest in drawing and painting, and Ed had even taken painting classes after coming home, though they would take it in a pretty interesting direction by merging it with at least Ed's interest in the occult. I'm not sure how interested Lorraine was in this at first. They would go to homes that had rumors of being haunted and set up an easel or a sketch pad or something outside and draw the house, and then offer this piece of artwork to the person living there, hopefully in exchange for information about the haunting or even a tour of the house. I'm just trying to think of people doing this in the modern day, and it doesn't sound like it would work out well. People would be way too weirded out by it. They'd think these people are stalkers or something. Now, like I said, I don't know how invested Lorraine was at first in this occult investigation because she claims that she was skeptical at first, that she thought the people that they spoke to just had overactive imaginations. So I'm wondering if this was more of an interest that Ed had, that she didn't really connect to her alleged gift of clairvoyance, but then as time went on, she began to accept it more, or if it was something for a long time she just kind of went along with. In 1952, they founded the New England Society for Psychic Research, or NESPR, as well as founding the Warrens Occult Museum that's attached to their house in Monroe, Connecticut. Now, they claim over the span of their careers to have investigated over 10,000 cases. Of these 10,000 cases, there are many that fans of the Conjuring universe and broader horror fans will recognize, even though the real world cases may not match what is in the movies. Some of these include the haunted Raggedy Ann doll that would spawn the Annabelle series, the haunting of the Perron family, which would inspire the first Conjuring movie, the Amityville haunting, which has spawned several adaptations, the Enfield poltergeist, which inspired The Conjuring 2, the trial of Arnie Johnson, which inspired The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, the Snedeker haunting, which inspired A Haunting in Connecticut, and the case that has inspired this last installment to the Conjuring universe that's coming out soon, the Smurl family haunting in The Conjuring Last Rites. One case of theirs that I had not heard about until researching for this video is the case of Bill Ramsey, an alleged werewolf. Now, of course, in their line of work, there's going to be a lot of criticism towards what they do because there is no solid evidence that the paranormal exists, whether you are a fan of it or not. An investigation into the couple by the New England Skeptical Society said that at best they were tellers of meaningless stories, or at worst, dangerous frauds. Now, I will say they never charged for any of their investigations, but they made their money through giving lectures at colleges as well as writing books and then selling the rights of their stories to movie and TV companies. The New England Skeptical Society apparently debunked a lot of their photographic evidence, saying that the causes are very common technical errors with photography, and implied that they entered an investigation with the conclusion already in mind and therefore worked backwards and made any evidence they came across fit whatever they had decided the case already was. These investigators didn't think that the Warrens would knowingly or intentionally harm anyone, but they did say that their work could confuse the public, especially since they were giving lectures at, colleges and stuff, which kind of legitimizes some of their more out there beliefs, or even reinforce delusions of certain people. Now, there are more serious criticisms of the Warrens not based on their work. In 2017, a woman named Judith Penny came forward with allegations that she and Ed Warren were in a sexual relationship when he was around 30 and she was only 15, and that Lorraine knew and even accepted this relationship because they moved her into their house. And she fell pregnant, and Lorraine pressured her to get an abortion because the scandal of all of this would ruin their careers. She also claimed to witness physical abuse between the couple, though I will say the Warrens' daughter and son-in-law said that they never witnessed any of this behavior, though if you're not always there, you're not going to see it. Now, I'm not saying that any of this is true or not because I wasn't there. And Ed and Lorraine have passed on. The only word we have to go off of is Judith's. However, a weird detail that I kind of think supports at least some of what this woman is saying, Lorraine had it written into her contract for the Conjuring universe movies that her and Ed could not be depicted engaging in extramarital affairs or engaging in any sort of crimes like inappropriate contact with a minor. So those are very interesting and specific stipulations to write into a movie contract for allegations that were not even levied at the time. Ed passed away on August 27th of 2006, and Lorraine would go on to run the Occult Museum in her home with her son-in-law until 2019, when it was closed due to zoning issues. 2019 is also the year that she passed at the age of 92. And as many have probably heard, the Warrens Occult Museum has been taken over by a very unfunny comedian, in my opinion, Matt Rife, who plans to open the museum back up to the public and even offer sleepovers there. So I'm wondering what Ed and Lorraine would think about that. But that is just a general overview of who the Warrens were, their careers, and the impact that they made on the horror genre as a whole, though I will be doing deep dives into hopefully at least each of the cases that I mentioned that inspired the Conjuring movies, but I would also like to do either mini videos or deep dives into their lesser known cases. So please let me know what you think of this video down in the comments below, who they say they were, or do you think that they were frauds? Do you think Lorraine actually was clairvoyant? Do you think that they actually had an interest in this stuff, or that they just saw a way to, make some money? There are allegations that the entire story of the Amityville horror was completely fabricated by them in collusion with, I believe, the owner of the house to make some money. But if you haven't already, please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed and leave a comment down below. It really helps tell YouTube that my videos are something that is worth pushing to other people. If you have not already, please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and also hit subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and click the bell notification so you'll be notified anytime I upload. Small update on the 500 subscriber special. I have everything set and to go, and now I'm just trying to find a day that works well for me to be drinking like that, because I don't plan to get plastered, but if I end up accidentally overdoing it, I don't want to have to go to work the morning after. So that's all that's really holding me back, but I might even do it today. I might just say fuck it. Also, in the comments down below, I asked the last video what you guys thought of me potentially reading subscriber scary stories. I could set up an email for it, and I would read your guys' stories with either your actual name or a fake name, whatever you prefer, on the channel. And I feel like that would be a really fun way to get you guys involved in the videos I'm making, because I want this to be something that we both enjoy, where it's not just me making all of the final decisions on what to upload, that you guys have a say in it. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Happy Spooktober, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!